Some of the volumes in the exhibit that we've set up date from the first millennium, so over 1,000 years old. We can fall into the trap of thinking that they've told us their story already, that there's nothing more for them to share. These books are still full of knowledge that sometimes we haven't even thought to try to find, or we haven't had the techniques or technologies to try to find.
We need to have non-invasive approaches to examining the books or any materials because they don't belong to us. We are caretakers for the next generations to come of this material. We cannot damage this information, or it changes the story that the object tells to the next generation.
Sometimes the books that we're interested in are actually unopenable. You can't read the text at all, or if you start to open them, they start crumbling in your hands.
We always say, you don't use your hands, touch with your eyes.
You can look at an object in a whole variety of ways. You can look at its color, you can look at its shape and its size. But if you're interested in its internal structure, then there are two ways you can do that. You can either cut into it, which would damage a very valuable artifact, or you can put it in a scanner like this and non-destructively look at what's inside. It's that preservation of the original object in pristine form, that's the real key.
So essentially what a MicroCT scanner is, it's a non-destructive imaging technique. So we put an object inside and we're able to project an X-ray source. And from that, we're able to digitally do a 3D reconstruction of the object being scanned.
A MicroCT scanner is broadly similar to the kind of scanner that you would go into at a hospital. But one of the key differences in the hospital, the detector and the X-ray source go around you, and you sit on the table in the middle. Here, the detector and the panel are fixed, and the object rotates in between.
We take the object and put it in the platform of the machine, adjust the position of the object we are trying to scan. We fire up the X-ray source, and that projection is captured in the back.
And so it takes 3,141 individual X-ray images as the object goes through 360 degrees. And then we have a reconstruction program that takes all those individual images and creates a volume. So the file that we look at then is a volume that we can slice and dice in any direction that we want.
I was very surprised by how beautiful these objects look. You feel like the past is coming alive because you're seeing inside something. You see shades of the past, shades of the present, and so on. There's something really quite stunning about them as objects.
I had the feeling through MicroCT, the manuscripts are speaking to us and describing their self, and this is me, look at me, I am made of these.
You can see the rings in wood. You can see the particular fibers in the thread. You can see parts of covers that were taken off and then reused as materials again in a different way.
MicroCT gives you the opportunity to look as holistic way, and then you discover all this richness of multi-layers. Illumination, ornamentation, the text itself. These were all information that we could get through MicroCT without being invasive towards the manuscript.
You want to connect to the past. You want to know what it is that happened then so that you can understand better how you end up where you are, how the world is what it is. And what this technology lets us do is go past the limitations of the eye and the hand to use a new technology to see aspects of history that aren't available to the immediate senses. And that is very exciting.